What's going on, family? It's your guy, Bor, the Lucky Libra. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. As y'all can see by the title, we'll be picking up the signs through the houses series with Scorpio in the 6th house. All right, so make sure to like, share, subscribe so we could circulate these gems. Make sure to tap into my website if you'd like to connect with the Lucky Libra, and tap into my Patreon if you like to dive deeper. Let's get right into it. Now, the 6th house. What is the 6th house? What area of life does the 6th house represent in our birth charts? When we look at the 6th house, we're dealing with how we go about routining and scheduling things in our life, all right? Is our earth house. Earth houses have a huge influence on career and how we establish gaining security and stability in this lifetime. When we look at the 6th house, we're also dealing with forms of wellness, regimen, diet, right? How we take care of ourselves. The 6th house rules the nervous system. And, huge emphasis on what we may experience in the workplace, all right? And not just the physical environment or where you may work in this lifetime, right? Or the places you may work in this lifetime, but, what you may experience when you go about working on something, right? Or influences you'll experience while you're working on something in the process of building something or in the process of cultivating a schedule or routine. So we got Scorpio here. So this is my Gemini risings. Right? And when we put Scorpio here, the ruler is Mars. The ruler of this house is Mars. So you need to know what house Mars is in. Whatever house Mars is in is going to heavily influence your 6th house. Things that Mars is experiencing in the house is going to trickle into your 6th house. You're going to find answers and solutions for problems in your 6th house in the house Mars is in, right? And the house Mars is in is going to be an area where you're going to have to learn how to find ways to incorporate this house into your daily routine, weekly routine, or learn how to work and craft this house. Now, Scorpio, with the ruler being Mars is assertive, it's individual, it's durable, it's passionate, it's intense, it's strong as hell, all right? It's forceful, and it's very motherfucking passionate, if I ain't say that already. And when you have that rule in your 6th house, this is the natural influence that you manifest in the 6th house and the type of energy that you attract in the 6th house. So best believe, yes, this individual may naturally be motivated in the 6th house. They may naturally have deep intentions, right? Mars energy, Scorpio, Aries, Mars influence signs, they deal with intentions, right? So they may have strong, deep intentions for what they want to manifest in the 6th house. They may have strong, deep desire to establish a certain schedule or routine so they can manifest these goals, manifest the things that they have deep intentions and ambitions for, all right? Very positive attributes here, right? Very positive when you're assertive with working and building what is it that, you want to manifest, all right? Instead of waiting for it to sit on your lap. And Scorpio in the 6th house is going to be determined in this area. Now, remember, the signs in the house is not necessarily what you're doing, guys. These are the signs is what you're experiencing in an area and what could ultimately develop characteristics, but it's not necessarily what you're doing. So is what you're experiencing here. And on the flip side, with Mars, with all that passion, you will attract that competitive like energy in the work field. Scorpio in the 6th house, and you're gonna attract that. You're gonna have competitive coworkers, colleagues at times, right? Possibly motherfucking manipulative. Possibly. Remember, guys, any area of the chart where Scorpio is at, that's going to be a hidden area of our chart. That's going to be an area where we may be in the dark of things a lot of the time, or we may be conscious of how others are in the dark about things in that area. May deal with power and control issues in that area. You may deal with manipulation in that area, but you're going to have strong passions, intentions, and desires in that area at the same time. So, people may try to get a lot of things, move behind your back in different ways in the workplace. So you got to be careful about how you deal with relationships in the workplace. You got to be careful how you deal with relationships in the workplace. You have to be careful of the measures you take to manifest things in the 6th house. All right? Because Scorpio in that 6th house get dialed in. This could be Gemini risings, but this could also be Taurus risings. This could also be Cancer risings. All right? So you have to be conscious of how you overwhelm or exhaust yourself in this house, right? Not doing things in a paced manner, trying to conquer too much in a day, in a week, in a month, and now you're overwhelming yourself, right? And now we got to look towards wellness in our diet and how we taking care of ourselves in this house. We got to check our nervous system. You can frustrate yourself trying to conquer a lot in a day. But in this house, when you got Scorpio here, it could channel a different type of focus, a different type of, determination here. So you got to make sure, once again, you got to make sure you're paced. You got to make sure, excuse me, sorry, I kind of lost my thought there. You got to make sure with all of that energy, you don't become the one that's, starting to become extra manipulative and shit in the 6th house, telling lies to your boss about your coworker, this and that, so you could get that employee of the month, you get that promotion, that raise, start doing shit like that, moving behind the scenes. You're going to have an eye for how people moving behind the scenes in the workplace. Best believe that shit, though. Be careful how people try to use your energy, drain your energy in the workplace. Make sure you know your self-worth in the workplace. All right? Now, when we talk about Scorpio energy, we dealing with spirituality. We dealing with the occult. We dealing with astrology. We dealing with tarot. We dealing with black magic. We dealing with dark magic. You dealing with, mysticism. We dealing with monsters. We dealing with demons. They may find themselves in some type of shape or form with these things within career. I don't know. Dealing with, what's phlebotomy? I just want to make sure that's what I think it is. I got Neptune conjunct. Listen, y'all know y'all probably think I'm wise and smart and shit. I got Neptune conjunct my ascendant. Sometimes I be on some airhead shit. Sometimes it's be simple things about this reality that I don't be knowing. Phlebotomy, the surgical opening of puncture a vein in order to withdraw blood. Well, I thought that was the shit. Whatever I'm fucking that shit up. Whatever's the shit where people are working in what's the when you working with dead bodies? Morticians. I don't know why I connected phlebotomy to any of that, but morticians, people that work in the graveyard, people that's working with the dead. Scorpio in the 6th house they could stomach that shit. They could stomach working with things correlating around death, correlating around past life energy, correlating with things that need to transform. They could sustain themselves in that area. You feel me? With Scorpio in the 6th house, you're going to experience a lot of transformation in the 6th house. So, whatever career industry you're a part of, you're going to go through a lot of transformations within that industry or whatnot, especially trying to reach certain intentions you may set for yourself in this area. But within the path for all of that, you just got to make sure how far that if you manifest situations deal with manipulation, hidden agendas, and secrets, you got to make sure that doesn't change your character or how you conduct yourself in this house, and doesn't make you start moving in super duper dark energies here. Scorpio in the 6th house, people may not even know where you work at. Gemini rises, sometimes we don't even know what y'all do for work. We don't know what y'all working on, where y'all get y'all money from. Wherever Scorpio are in the chart is hidden, y'all. So don't nobody know what you do for work. Don't nobody know what your schedule routine is. Your close friends don't know you. Like what you has been doing all day. Like you don't know. You got Scorpio in the 6th house. You be up to anything. It's mysterious. The workplace and that's another thing. You may come off mysterious in the workplace. And that's the thing. You're a Gemini rising. Gemini risings are not as open communicators as the sun and the moon. The sun wants to communicate, the moon needs to communicate, and Gemini risings, their personality comes off communicative. It comes off communicative. The aura comes off communicative. But when you dive into that 6th house, sometimes Scorpio here, you come off mysterious as hell at times. You come off mysterious as hell. People don't know how to read you at times. You may attract work behind the scenes. You may be working in a lot of places, I ain't trying to when I say behind the scenes, y'all know what I mean. I hope I don't got to say too much. That's all I'm going to say. All right. That's all I'm going to say. Street pharmacist. That's all I'm going to say. All right. You may find yourself inclined to more careers behind the scenes. So you just got to make sure, your natural knack of conducting a scheduled routine that's out of mind, out of sight, you make sure you stay on your P's and Q's, and make sure you have your ancestors and your spiritual lineage looking out for you. If you know what I mean, if you catch my drift, if you got Scorpio in the 6th house, you know what I'm talking about. So yes, a lot of behind the scenes type energies fall into your 6th house. So yeah, you may find yourself developing things in your routine and schedule, that's maybe real individual and different from how other people correlate their schedule routine. Maybe you get your shit different. You like doing shit at night or some shit, like, everything mysterious when Scorpio gets into play with things. You're going to have a strong individual feel for your schedule routine. You're not really going to like dealing with authority. You got Mars is the house ruler, your 6th house. So you're going to want to be the authority of your task and your routine and agendas for the day. So that's where a lot of this determination starts to build up. It starts to build up the drive for you to own your own shit, to be an individual in your own shit, or to manifest a certain sanctuary and space, comfortable space within your industry or company or what you do for work. But you most likely gonna clash with some authority here. But yeah, these people, like, yes, I just know, like, these people can get very locked into their schedule. They can get very dialed in here when it comes to what they wanna manifest, what they wanna bring into fruition into the world. They're willing to get devoted and work for it. Mars ain't looking for shortcuts. Mars just wants to get busy, get his hands dirty and build and get to it. So that's going to be the natural influences in this house. When it comes to wellness, all right, when it comes to your diet, regimen, Scorpio is dealing with the subconscious. Scorpio is a bit picky, so it doesn't just dibble and dabble in every energy. Highly selective type of energy, Scorpio, It don't like going to every party. It don't like being around in every environment. It has a certain mystique to it. So it has to make sure the energies it participates with aligns with this mystique in some type of shape or form. So yeah, they're going to gain some wisdom about things, dealing with their diet and whatnot. At times a bit with Scorpio here, you may, how I say this, because Scorpio is dealing with the occult and spirituality. It is dealing with the occult and spirituality. So you may find yourself, wherever Scorpio's at in the chart, you're gonna find out behind the scenes like energies about that area. So it's like with Scorpio in the 6th house, in some type of shape or form in this lifetime, you're gonna start understanding things behind diet regimen from a controlling aspect, from a worldwide controlling aspect. Like, you gonna be the one to get the knowledge and wisdom what they doing to the food behind the scenes. You might be the one to shed some awareness on that in the world. When it comes to diet regimen, Scorpio can also expose a lot where it's at. So Scorpio in the 6th house, it could do a lot of exposing in the workplace, or they could do a lot of exposing when it comes to situations dealing with how things are prepped with for us to take care of ourselves, and which diet falls into that. So things with like the food industry or whatnot, they'll get real deep into that, especially from a spiritual perspective, trying to understand how what they put into their vessel or how they deal with their schedule and routine helps to manifest goals, helps to manifest intentions. It might get that deep there with Scorpio in this house. All right, we're all spiritual here, so I expect individuals to be dealing with a lot of the spiritual aspects of these energies. That's why I subconsciously speak from it from a spiritual point of view. Not everybody that got Scorpio in the 6th house, or Jupiter here, or Sagittarius there, or whatever, where it has super spiritual inclination. For every placement that somebody's saying, oh, a guru has this placement, or astrologers, teachers have this placement, there's a whole bunch of fools that might have the placement, a whole bunch of people that is idle and not utilizing none of their gifts, talents, none of that with that energy. So I just speak from this perspective, assuming everybody's already into spiritual shit. And if you're watching this, you into spiritual shit. All right. Anybody trying to seek this information, you on some spiritual shit. So, yeah, that's what we got going on with Scorpio, man. They want to get to the behind the scenes energy of understanding, getting to the root of how certain things affect our wellness and our diet, or what they choose to connect to from a wellness diet perspective. Could be real picky in that area, but anything that they get, anything that they become, they make a decision on what they want to work on in their 6th house. Yes, they could max the fuck out. They could max out. So you got to make sure you're not overwhelmed here. You got to make sure you're paced here. You got to make sure you're conscious about time frames you want to do things and whatnot, you know. And yeah, it's a sextile. You know, Scorpio is a sextile. It's two houses away, so it harmonizes with this house. And for many reasons, we just saw why. When you put all this passion, determination, when you put all this laser vision type of energy, this this penetrative type of energy in the sixth house, you're gonna get to the root of things that either affect your nervous system from a shadow work perspective. So these are the things that may start to play a factor within wellness, diet and regimen, because they may start to get into a subconscious spiritual way of analyzing sixth house things. And then because they bring all that passion, determination to something that they want to correlate as a schedule or routine and to build something, you put all that energy force into something, you're going to get something back. So as long as you got an efficient plan and routine, sky's the limit here. Sky's the limit here. But yeah, that's what we got going on with Scorpio in the sixth house. All right. Make sure to like, share, subscribe so we can circulate these gems. All right, make sure to tap into my website if you'd like to connect with the Lucky Libra. And make sure to tap into my Patreon if you'd like to dive deeper. Next episode, we'll be picking up with Sagittarius in the sixth house. Until next time, family, peace.